Hi, thanks for stopping by. This is my channel, More Sporting, and I'm Pat Moore. I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. So, we are in the backyard. I am sitting in a chair, and just like last time, it's because I didn't perform particularly well in the tournament, and I don't have a lot of footage. I do have some footage, and I am going to share that with you. But what I've tried to do in my videos is to tease out a couple of things, one or more things that are important as takeaways from any fishing experience that I have. So I don't want you to tune into my videos just so you can see me catch a fish, because frankly, I kind of find that a little boring after a while. And so what I really want you guys to do is to learn from my mistakes, or at least my successes. That's kind of what I want to get out of these videos. And I'm going to share with you a couple things that happened in the tournament with me, and let you guys glean from that what you will. And I'll summarize at the end so I can make it more specific. I had 4 days of pre-fishing, and only one of those days did I catch more than one fish, and that was 2.
Well, we caught a fish, and he's going to be big enough. So we're going to measure some good one.
I did catch a fish on another day, and most of the pre-fishing I did, it was a desert. I tried a lot of techniques and a lot of different equipment, and just really was not on the fish. And everywhere I went, I got the same sort of thing. And as I spoke with people throughout the week, I kind of got the same impression, the impression that they, in those areas where I was, they weren't seeing a lot of fish. The one spot that I caught 2 fish had some promise. There was a few people that said, yeah, that's a pretty good area. So that is where I ended up fishing. And I got to that location, and a gal rolls up, I don't know, 30, 40 yards from me and says, hey, can I fish here? And my goal was to catch a fish, and she wasn't going to affect that. So I thought, well, maybe I'll learn something from her. And when the lines in bell rang, I proceeded to watch her catch 10 or 12 fish in a row, and I didn't catch a single fish in the same area. She eventually took pity on me and did everything she could to try to get a fish for me. She told me what she was fishing, how she was fishing it, where she was tossing it, how she was retrieving it, what the bite felt like. You know, absolutely everything you could do to help somebody catch a fish, she had tried. And yeah, my ineptitude won out on that one. I did not catch fish doing what she was doing. I eventually got frustrated enough that I rolled downriver a little bit and was fishing a drop shot, and I did catch some dinks. So the day was not lost completely in the tournament. And about 2 hours left in the tournament, I decided to go do some exploring. And as I was pedaling upstream, I noticed there was a large area that was a flat weed bed, a huge area, and it was taking up a large portion of the river canal. And I thought, well, at some point there's got to be a ledge out there, because a lot of water's coming through here. It's got to be deeper out there somewhere. It's likely a ledge. The way that this is setting up, it looks like it'd be a pretty steep ledge. And so I pedaled out to where I thought that would be, and sure enough, there was a pretty good ledge there. And I ended up trolling up along that edge, and I very quickly started picking up fish consistently. I think I caught 2 or 3 dinks within the first 5 or 10 minutes of doing that, and I eventually caught one that was, I think it was probably 15 inches. It could have, you know, it's a fish story. It got away, so I don't know how big it really was, but I'm going to go with 15 inches. And it popped off right as I was netting it. And part of it is that I need to improve my netting skills, because that happens to me often, and I know why. I just haven't but if you want to share with me why you think it is in the comments, I'd appreciate it. But I think I know why that's happening. Anyway, you can see in the video, I was really quite frustrated with that eventuality, because really all I had left was about 30 minutes in the tournament. And only thing I caught all day was dinks. So I decided, though, the last 20 minutes that I would troll upriver again, because I wasn't getting anything going downriver. So I decided I would go through that exact same area again, trolling upriver. And you can see in the video, I'm going like this. Boy, it'd be nice if the rod went like that, one more time. And it did. Right after I did that, the rod took off, and I caught a fish, and it was 12 and a half inches, which allowed me to KFNW's tournament, the joint tournament. It allowed me to enter it into that. Not the Big Bass Power Hour, but the KFNW tournament. So I did catch a fish, and I entered it into the tournament. So that goal was met. So let's talk about the takeaways. What I learned from Tandy was you can be on the fish and not know it. And she was in first place there for a while, because she was catching fish early in the morning and just one after another. They weren't all the keeper 14-inch size. She caught a lot of dinks too, but she did have quite a few measurable fish because she was catching so many. So that was enlightening, entertaining, and frustrating. Entertaining in hindsight, because I have to laugh at myself, because how the hell could I not catch one of those fish after she told me everything that she was doing, and I just still couldn't catch one. Oh boy, that's a lesson in ineptitude right there. Okay, so you can be on the fish and not know it. So you do need to be really diligent in your testing of equipment, your lures, everything that you're doing. You have to be pretty insightful and detail-oriented on practice in that water. It's important that you put a lot of effort into your practice, because that's how you're going to find a fish. The other thing that I noticed from this tournament, this is a post-spawn tournament, which we, as a general rule, most of the people thought it was going to be a little bit of a challenge because of the post-spawn. They tend to, especially the bigger ones, they tend to get reclusive while they recuperate. And in this particular case, it was quite evident, based on the returns, Tandy's experience catching fish, the guy who won the KFNW tournament, the guy who got second in the KFNW tournament, the guy who won the Big Bass Power Hour, they all described a very similar experience, where they had this one little spot that had a lot of fish in them. And in Tandy's case, it was a small current break with a depression, and she was just catching fish after fish after fish. And in Chris and Zach's case, they were both fishing a small hole in a backwater pond that was loaded with largemouths. They caught all largemouths. And then the guy who won the Big Bass tournament, he had caught 2 fish, I think, for the entire day, up until like the last 2 hours. And then he took off and went to find some new water, and found an offshore hump, just like the other dozens of offshore humps I'm sure he looked at. And that one hump was just fish all over it. And he basically said he was catching fish and measuring them almost as fast as he could in order to get the number of fish he needed in order to win the tournament. And he ended up winning by a pretty fair margin. But, for 80% of the day, he struggled mightily to catch fish. So it's that one little spot and that one little spot and that post spawn time where you catch fish. And that's an important lesson in the post spawn. You really, really need to cover water to find the fish. So that's the takeaway. You got to cover a lot of water to find the fish. And if you find the fish, you got to be real detail oriented in your practice to make sure you find the right technique to catch those fish. All right. That's what I got. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like my idiocy here, please like and subscribe. And if you have any takeaways that you got from the tournament or things that you know about the post spawn, put them in the comments. I appreciate it. Obviously, I need all the help I can get. Thanks for stopping by.